Sunday of August. I can't believe we're already wrapping up summer, getting ready for school, and on the brink of fall. P.S. We've got some super exciting things planned for fall that we'll be announcing over the next few weeks. A new event, a new YouTube segment that you can star in. Stay tuned. Speaking of great news, I've got some. Parents, if you're in the room, you'll want to hear this. Okay, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Our CCV Royersford campus is reopening for in-person services on September 20th. This means that if you and your family are ready, you can join us back on campus for in-person gatherings on Sunday mornings. As in, I'll actually get to see you in real life. Information about health, safety, and how to pre-register can be found on ccvlive.com. And if you and your family aren't quite ready for that, no problem. We'll continue to post our church at home videos each week on YouTube with an at-home discussion guide. Check out ccvlive.com for more information on all your options. This week, we're wrapping up our series called Indescribable, a theme where we've been talking all month long about the word creativity. I bet you could say this yourself by now. Creativity is imagining what you can do because you're made in God's image. Before we jump into worship and our lesson today, taught entirely by Miss Janelle, our 4-5 preteen pastor, let's play a game. This game has to do with the memory verse we've been practicing all month long. Think you know it by now? I'll show it to you in its entirety first, and then we'll slowly take away a word at a time. Think you can say the whole verse on your own? Let's give it a try.
Lord, you are great. You are really worthy of praise. No one can completely understand how great you are. Psalm 145:3. Okay, here we go. Lord, you are really worthy of praise. No one can completely understand how are. Psalm 145:3. Are you getting it? Let's try it again. Blank, you are blank. You are really blank of praise. No one can understand how you are really of. No one can understand how are. 145:3.
Now that's what I call indescribable. Great job on that memory verse. If you can, take a video reciting the verse entirely by yourself and tag us so we can share it at CCV Valley Kids. In today's story, we're going to learn what Jesus means when he says we're the light of the world and the salt of the world. And we're doing it by telling a fun story about baking cookies. Yum. I could go for a chocolate chip cookie right now. But first, let's worship. It's our last week with these two songs, Every Beat and WayMaker. Psst, and we've got a brand new song coming to you next month. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
Darkness run and hide, you bring the broken back to life. Only you can, only you can. You set me free from every chain, you fill my heart with songs of praise. Only you can, only you can. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm.
Hey guys, it is Miss Chanel, and I'm so excited to be finishing our story and our series Indescribable, where we've been talking all about creativity. We have one last story for you guys, and it's actually found in the book of Matthew. Matthew 5 verses 13 through 16. Are you guys ready? Because it's gonna be an awesome one. Here we go. Keisha Jones tied the strings of the large apron carefully around her back. She glanced at all the silver countertops and appliances and the cupcake store where her brother worked.
This is amazing.
Yeah, pretty great Maya's letting us use the mixer and stove.
Pretty great you're helping me.
Keisha offered to bake cookies to raise funds for the new marching band uniforms. And even better, Robert offered to help her. He had chipped the smug recipe right over the countertop.
Brown butter and toffee chocolate chip cookies? Sounds weird.
Trust me, they are the bomb.
Robert had spent evenings in the bakery for 3 years, so Keisha had to admit he probably did know what he was doing. And she looked over the recipe.
2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt?
Actually, we're quadrupling the recipe, so that's 4 teaspoons of salt.
Robert tossed Keisha a set of measuring spoons.
Cookies are supposed to be sweet. Won't the salt ruin them?
Nope, salt actually brings out the flavors.
What does that even mean?
You want to test it out? Fine. I'll make a batch with salt. You make one without.
You're on.
The siblings worked quickly as Robert showed Keisha how to mix the dry and wet ingredients separately.
What do we do now?
Add the dry ingredients into the wet mix on low speed. Slowly, or you will make a flour storm all over this kitchen.
I knew that.
As Keisha began to work, she could hear another sound over the mixer.
Wow, rain's really coming down.
Yeah, and this is such an old building that every time it storms, the power goes out.
I can't see a thing.
Robert was fumbling with his phone until the flashlight had come on.
It always comes back on pretty fast.
Robert sat down on this floor with his back against the cabinets, and Keisha sighed and sat down too. She had checked her phone.
My battery's dying. Entertain me.
What? You can't live without your phone?
I don't know. Tell me a story.
I was just thinking of one. About salt.
Really?
One that Jesus told.
Ooh, that one. Sermon on the Mount.
Well, it fits. You know, the cookies.
Fine. Read it to me, preacher man.
It's in Matthew.
I know that.
Robert settled in with his Bible app. Jesus saw the crowds when he went up to the mountainside and sat down. And then he began to teach, and pretty quickly he got to this part of the story. You are the salt of the earth.
Jesus saw the crowds, so he went up on a mountainside and sat down. Then he began to teach. And pretty quick he gets into this part. You are the salt of the earth.
That's it?
Well, no. I mean, then Jesus talks about throwing out the salt if it loses its saltiness.
How do you even know if you're salty?
I think it's like the cookies. Salt makes things taste better. And people who follow Jesus can make life taste better.
Like chocolate chip cookies.
Robert punched Keisha lightly on the shoulder.
You know what I mean. When we share God's story, we bring hope to others. We help to fill their lives with kindness and joy and peace. All that good stuff.
Okay, I get it. Salt, good. There's something about light too, right?
Yep. Jesus says, you are the light of the world. People do not light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand. Then it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine so others can see it. Then they will see the good things you do, and they will bring glory to your Father who is in heaven.
Keisha shifted to get comfortable on the hard floor.
So when we follow Jesus,
By showing God's love to others.
when we do that, others can see God better and what to do.
Like a bright light. Yikes!
Robert jumped up to stop the mixer when the power had come back on, and Keisha just stood and started stretching and blinking.
Like a bright light. You planned that, huh?
Of course.
Well played. Hey, I'm gonna put salt in my batch of cookies after all.
As Keisha had measured the salt, she smiled. The cookies would come out great, and she had something that she had to do. She had to think about the way that she could be the salt and light herself. Guys, I had so much fun telling you this story about being the salt and light of the earth. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon.
Jesus said, I am the light. Oh, and we're all the light, and we should let our light shine so that others can see it. When we shine our lights, it will help point people to God. How do we shine our lights? Well, you can give someone a helping hand, or you can cheer someone on, or listen when someone needs to talk. Only you can shine your light the way you can. So get creative. All you have to do is treat people the way Jesus did. Love people, serve people, and treat people like they matter. Then you'll be giving people a glimpse of God's story. You'll be able to show people how much God loves them and how much they matter to Him. Here's the one thing to remember today. God created you to share His story. Let me say it again so it really sinks in. God created you to share His story. And when you choose to be creative so that you can share His story, it's pretty indescribable. Friends, we can't wait to see you at our last Summer Sunday, today, 12:30 on Zoom, and in person at CCV Royersford campus on September 20th. Stay connected, friends. Have a great week.